So I'm going to say I'm a little bit more skeptical now than I was before, because the journey I thought that we were on was one that was all-inclusive, because we realized that missteps were made telling people that these projects could change, as well as documentation that was submitted without council review and approval. So the whole thing is a game on semantics, and I thought we were going to be looking at the whole thing. I am going to approve this, but it's going to be a test to say what that journey truly is, because I'm very concerned that the language has changed again, and that bothers me, because the residents on all sides are impacted, and we need to do what's right in the situation and not confine ourselves. So.
Going back to something you just said, opening the spigot. I think that's what you're doing with widening this road, is opening the spigot. And we're not looking at this from a whole perspective. We've got to talk Old Alabama, we got to talk Nesbitt Ferry, we got to talk about the Old Alabama Connector. There's so many more pieces to this. And Councilmember Bradbury, you said, you're willing to take this journey. Well, why aren't you willing to take the 141 journey? Why aren't you willing to take the Jones Bridge journey? Why aren't you willing to take the intersection at 141 and State Bridge? Those are important places that have been defined as the biggest problem. So you want to take this journey without that, but you're not willing to take the others. I find that hard to believe. If we want to take on the issues, let's take the issues on. But this one is going to open up a can of worms, in my belief. I'm not sure there's even the problem we have. And you're going to open the spigot on this one without looking at the whole thing comprehensively. And I think you're opening up the Jones Bridge spigot when you open this one up.
But Lenny, I would just say that, like for me, I'm just saying for me personally, Haynes Bridge is a little bit of a different animal than some of the other roads because of its proximity to 400. Okay? I think that the idea that we have got to do the concept for all these, some of these I will go to the mat to say that they are on their face, no need to do any drawings, no need to move forward on the journey because they are not in our best interest. So I will not vote for one penny to be spent on those. And we're probably getting into an area where we need to go to executive session to talk about some of these legal issues. But I'm that I'm very sympathetic to where you're coming from because I've shared that on so many other projects. But to me, this is a little bit of a different animal.
Councilman Zarowski, I think this conversation actually has been very enlightening because we'd had prior conversations and where I thought we were. I think it's worthwhile going through just this initial phase on Haynes Bridge to see what we learn. And then that will give us direction going forward because I'm tired of the bait and switch. So let's go through the process, figure out what the process is going to look like, what the end game is going to be, how these plans are going to be drawn, how the residents are going to respond, and then we can look at more. As I said, this conversation tonight has been very enlightening.